Hi everyone. Thanks for checking out my sixth Q&A video response to the various questions that I've received over the past few weeks regarding my candidacy for Board of Education. So today's question is as follows. What are your priorities as a potential member of the Board of Education? So one common misconception about members of the Board of Education is that they, as individuals, have some type of power or decision-making authority. This couldn't be further from the truth. According to the New Jersey School Board Association, the role of a Board of Education member is not to run the schools, but to see that the schools are well run. So you can think about this in terms of like the what and the how. The Board of Ed works with the superintendent to determine the what, and then the superintendent works with their administration to implement the how. The board then evaluates the success of the how that was made by the superintendent. The Board of Education is also in place to represent the concerns of the citizens, taxpayers, and parents of the district, of the community, to the superintendent and the administration. So in order for almost anything to occur, the majority of the board must approve it. So I will share with you some of my vision and my hopes for our district, but will be fully transparent in telling you that I single-handedly cannot accomplish any of this. No member of the Board of Education can single-handedly accomplish anything. This is why it's extremely important to get to know your candidates, get to know what they stand for, and be confident that they have the leadership skills and the ability to influence, because as the saying goes, it takes a village. You need a board majority to make things happen. So with that being said, a few weeks back, I shared on my Board of Ed campaign page some of my priorities as a Board of Education candidate. I'm going to share that visual again in this post, but I'm going to walk us through it in a bit more detail. So I broke down my priorities into 4 buckets, if you will. So the first bucket is bringing top talent into our school district. So as almost, all of you know, we have our current superintendent, our interim superintendent, Dr. Mortimer, in place, and the board over the next year or so will be looking to hire the permanent superintendent. I believe that I can bring my experience, my professional experience, with leadership and with accountability to add a lot of value to that process. When I think about the permanent superintendent, I think we want someone with strong leadership qualities and someone with a keen strategic vision for our district. The second kind of bullet in that top talent grouping is empowering our teachers by encouraging professional development and strengthening their relationships with administration, making sure that they have the tools and the resources to perform their jobs as, teaching our kids to the best of their ability, that they're really set up for success. And alongside that, support our teachers' aides. I've had several teachers' aides reach out to me during my campaign, just expressing various concerns. All of them are happy in our district. They love our kids, but I think that there's more that we can do to support our aides. So the second bucket within my priorities is related to finance and facilities. So as I've shared, I have an extensive professional background in finance and in investments. I have worked 18 years in a finance function, and in an asset management role. So I think I can bring a lot of value to the table in this regard as well. One of the, or two of the things, the common themes that we've heard across our district over the past several years is air conditioning, and class size, right? So I think we've gotten to the point where we've kicked the can and we've talked about AC, kicked the can down the road and talked about AC for a long time. And it's kind of, we need to stop talking about it and we need to start doing something. So really sitting down, developing a plan, and get air conditioning in every classroom. In addition, we have been talking about class size for a long time. We need to implement as a district short and long-term plans to really address the overcrowding, especially in our elementary schools. Both of those things are large projects, and with any large project comes money, right? So I think I can bring a lot to the table because I can leverage my professional experience managing money to ensure that we have the strongest fiscal responsibility as possible in our district, and that we can accomplish these large projects with minimal school tax hikes. The third bucket of priorities for me is related to enhancing our student resources. You know, the past 2 years during this COVID pandemic has really shown that we need to enhance the focus on our students' social, emotional, and mental well-being and just, overall health. I think for me, it was an area of focus even before the COVID pandemic. I think there's a lot more that we can do in our district in this regard, and I would really like to take the lead and make that happen, as alongside the rest of the board, as it does take collaboration. I would like to see a well-being program rolled out in our district, or a wellness program rolled out into our district. And I have a lot of really good ideas and different things that we could do there. In addition, with student resources, I would like to see just a stronger focus on paths for students who may not be pursuing the traditional 4-year college post-high school graduation. So, opening doors for them to get into trade or vocational school, military or career training certification, just making sure that every student is set up for success once they graduate, even if that doesn't mean they're going to a 4-year school. I know we do a lot now, but I just think that there's more that we can do there. And then lastly is just related to the culture across our school district. I would really like to see Westwood Regional School District establish a culture district-wide that is focused on trust, on accountability, on setting stretch goals, and above all, always treating others with respect and kindness. I have a 5th and a 10th grader. My 10th grader is always coming home from school, and she's going to kill me for talking about this on a Board of Ed post, but always coming home from school and telling me about the various friend groups in the high school. And it happened in the middle school as well. And to a certain extent, realistically, you're not going to be able to avoid that. But I would like to see more just collaboration and, more openness and less clickiness across the school district. So that's the one area of focus with the culture. And then secondly, promoting an inclusive environment that embraces diversity. I think our district is focused on that now, and I would really like to see that continue, and as it does continue, become even stronger. So, I know that was pretty quick. I welcome anyone to reach out to me anytime if you'd like to discuss any of these ideas in more detail, or if you have any ideas of your own. My door is always open. You can contact me through my Facebook page. I have an email out there and Instagram as well. So please don't hesitate to get in touch, and I'll talk to you next time.